10% of transactions actually failed.
Oh,
And they lost all of their gas money. Remember Yuga Labs launching and Ethereum went 2,500 Gwei gas price.
I mean, I believe you, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. So I studied the case, and 10% of transactions actually failed,
Oh,
and they lost all of their gas money, and that was a huge deal. Like really, 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 really poor execution. I mean, it wasn't really
Yuga
technical.
Labs is who?
It's the bored apes,
Okay, yeah, I thought
no,
so.
all that stuff. So people aped in, and they paid tens of thousands of dollars in gas, only to see their transactions fail,
Wow.
and actually not get anything.
Yeah.
And obviously Ethereum would not refund anything. So Yuga Labs would have had to actually refund from their treasury because they were selling NFTs. They're selling them. They sold $300 million worth of NFTs. We're actually not
Mm.
selling the NFTs. It's between you and the blockchain. And we don't get anybody's money. So we can't even come up with any sort of recovery funds should things go wrong.
Right. So you're putting in mechanisms to protect that from the gas.
Right. So obviously the Zen burn is something that is a buffer on the accelerated gas abuse. Because if you have to pay $50,000 worth of Zen to burn to actually get yourself a unicorn, that means that those unicorns that could be very expensive will not necessarily cause a gas spike. So we're relaying the pressure from gas to Zen, because not only you need to pay gas, but you also need to acquire Zen. And if you can't acquire Zen, then you have to wait. And if you have to wait, then the gas is not going to skyrocket. You see what I mean?
So yeah, for the most part.
So
The
we're
question,
trying to come up with the economic model, the rules that actually will not cause the gas to be so high, so it will cause transactions to fail. And at the same time, we're trying to educate people not to FOMO in and lose all of their money because they would set their transactions wrong. So we're trying to get the most people who are really interested to practice the
Mhm.
actual inner workings of how this whole thing is gonna go.
Yeah, because the gas is going to be different. So the the VM to make 5 BMUs with the xenft, it's going to be more expensive than to make five with CoinTool.
Actually, not so much. It's barely
Okay.
like it's like 3% difference.
Okay.
It's really not gonna be that big of a difference. The big difference is in population who love NFTs and who will ape in no matter what. Like those people who did not go for the ERC20 token, and we have seen a spike in gas on the weekends. It went from 5 Gwei to 250, and
Mm.
every chain got clogged. And so, just learning from that experience, we think that the XenFT launch being containing rare categories will actually be more of a FOMO situation, even more so than Zen, which will likely push gas so high that will potentially introduce failed transactions, potentially introduce people getting something they don't want, or just spending way too much money thinking that it's not gonna be that high, but it will be.
Yeah.
Like when you set your transaction limit on MetaMask in Gwei, you set the upper limit. You don't set the lower limit. I mean, if you say it, if you put it way too high, like you can say it like 3,000 Gwei, and
Oh yeah.
if you have enough Ethereum, it will actually take it.
Yeah. I never never I always put it low.
Yeah, but
I keep it low.
so when Zen launched, I saw people putting 500 Gwei for their transactions,
I mean,
and so if
they-
if if someone decides that 2,000 Gwei is gonna be the safe bet and it's never gonna get there, and what if it does?
Why would you? I mean, I guess if you want it, if you really want the NFT, you're gonna put it high though. Like I don't really. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't put that as my floor though. You got to be a certain type of person to put your limit that high. You want it to be. I guess some people are using it as a ask, and I use mine as a bid.
Yeah, that's the way to think about it.
Yeah.
That's the way and some people are like that. It's gonna happen no matter what. So that is a concern, and we're trying to buffer it with the Zen burn. And you see how it works, right? So Zen burn requires you to acquire Zen before you even get to play with XenFTs, which means it's a buffer. It's like a bridge that you need to cross
Right.
before you start throwing your ETH away.
And that's just for the common ones you don't have to burn though, right?
Not for the collector, no. Collector
Okay.
just works like regular, but it will
Okay.
not have as much FOMO.
So you don't have to burn Zen.
Not for the collector, but for
All
the
right.
limited and for the rare category, that is where the concern is that those in NFT degens, it's just gonna go, gonna ape in. So like